Hey, I'm Kai, and recently I did a video on what I believe to be one of the most universally loved and respected pedals, the ProCo RAT2. Since that video though, I've had an awful lot of comments on the contrary across various different platforms. Today I want to talk about why some people may really dislike the ProCo RAT2 and potentially sway some people into enjoying it. If you're converted at any point throughout this video and would like to pick up this pedal for yourself, there will be an affiliate link in the description box. If you buy this pedal expecting it to be an all-in-one distortion, boost, fuzz, overdrive that works through any setup, then you're probably going to be setting yourself up for failure. I think the main thing that people are going to struggle with when it comes to this pedal is that the gain texture is a lot more fuzzy and not very amp-like. Personally, that's something I really like about this pedal. You can run it into the clean channel of an amplifier and get a big, grungy, fuzzy sort of sound out of it. I'll compare it to the drive of my amp. For this video, I'm running through the Victory Kraken Mark II, then out into the Surreactive load box, and in my DAW, I'm loading up the ML SoundLab Anger impulse response. When I compare this one to the amp, you'll notice that the amp has a lot more articulation and clarity about it. And this fuzzy sort of texture happens even with the distortion on the RAT turned fairly low. I expect a lot of people picking up this pedal will want the distortion up nice and high, because more distortion is more good, right? The RAT with the distortion up high is really where it starts to just fully fuzz out and goes into a texture all of its own. I do totally understand why someone would hate that tone if they're coming in with the wrong expectations. It's not a very articulate sound, it's very aggressive, very specialised, but it does work nicely for some big grungy stuff. Another thing to note with the RAT that may be the reason why a lot of people don't like it is that the filter knob is extremely sensitive and has a massive range of tones available. It goes right the way from an unusably bright, shrill tone all the way to thick, folding in on itself, big doomy stuff. While versatility is of course inherently a positive trait to have, I think there is such a thing as too much versatility. A lot of the range of this filter knob is going to be unusable in your setup, and that's sort of something you have to understand about the RAT. It can work well in so many different setups, but that range of filter will be different for each one. So yeah, for me I could probably get away with the filter almost at the minimum, but anything up past about 3 o'clock or so is going to be completely unusable for this setup, but it may work better for bass for instance. Now, I also think there are some tones that the RAT can do, but not as well as a dedicated counterpart. For instance, if you want something that can take your clean tone up to a sort of gentle crunch thing, the RAT has a very narrow window of opportunity for you to do so. Similarly, if you want to take a low gain crunch tone up to a saturated thing, the same sort of thing applies. You can sort of use the RAT as a boost, but it will fare so much better with something like the SD1 for instance. In fact, the comment that prompted this video was seeing someone pick the SD1 over the RAT. To me, they are so wildly different texturally that you should sort of know which one of them is going to suit your style better. I can definitely see where those people are coming from though, given that the RAT is touted as an all-in-one overdrive boost kind of thing. I ought to pick up an SD1 for comparison's sake, but for this video I'm going to use the Plumes by Earthquaker. This next clip will be the gain 1 channel of the amp, then it will be boosted by the Plumes, and then boosted by the RAT. Again, the Plumes sounds more amp-like, while the Rat is adding a little bit of a honky mid-range sort of thing, and a little bit of that fuzzy top end. I wouldn't say the Rat sounds terrible here, but it definitely does pale in comparison to the Plumes. Let's hear what these are both like, taking a clean channel up to a gentle crunch. While we've got everything set up on the desk like this, I may as well see what it sounds like when they're both boosting the high gain channel of an amplifier. This is another area where you definitely could use the Rat, but it's probably not going to be your best option. I don't think a lot of people are going to be buying a Rat for this or disappointed when it doesn't do this, but it's worth comparing them just to see the differences. You may like the sound of the Rat there, it kind of has that HM2 mid-snarl thing going on, but it's definitely an atypical tone. It's almost got like a cocked wah kind of sound. It doesn't cut much of the low end like the Plumes does either, so you get a lot of that blooming sort of thing when you palm mute. The Rat is sort of the jack of all trades kind of pedal. It can do whatever you need it to do if you need it to do that, but it's obviously not going to be specialised in every area. I think it's worth going over a few tones that I enjoy with the Rat pedal now. The first one is a grungy sort of thing going into a slightly crunchy amp. It also works great as a low gain drive, especially when you pair it with other effects. So for this next tone, I'm going to use the Holy Island Audio Tides, the Wampler Doctor Delay, as well as the UA-FX Heavenly Plate Reverb. The main thing I use the Rat for though is a super blown out fuzzy sort of thing into the clean channel of an amplifier. So hopefully this video opened up maybe the pros and cons of the Rat pedal for you. It is of course one of the classic staple pedals and in the top 10 most sold distortion pedals of pretty much every music site that stocks it. I don't think a ton of people hate this pedal, but maybe it's not as universally loved as I previously thought. It definitely has its uses, but those uses obviously aren't for everyone. So let me know in the comment section down below what you think of the ProCo RAT2. While you're down there, be sure to check out my Toman affiliate links. I do my best to keep everything updated with all of the gear that I'm using, as well as all of the gear that I've previously demoed on the channel. That's all for this video though, so thank you ever so much for watching. I've been Kai.